This is the second sheet that you should do today with the sub. Sorry about that. You should have already done the quiz at this point. You should have already done that first subtraction sheet that I just went over. So this would be the second one. And basically what this is, it just breaks down what we just did as extra practice. There's a front and a back to it. So I'm going to go over some of the front. What it wants you to do is specifically write the addition expression from the subtraction and then write the answer. That's what the simplified form would be. So what I'm going to do is start off here. Negative 2 minus 6. Well, if I add the opposite, I'm going to keep my negative 2. Instead of minus, we always add. And since it was a positive 6, I change it to a negative, just like that. So negative 2 plus negative 6. And that parentheses is just to separate the positive from the negative. That's the only reason it's there. So now we have negative 2 plus negative 6. Since they're the same sign, we add. And we keep the negative. That's number 1. Number 2, keep our 9 just how it is. Since it's subtraction, we're going to change it to addition. And since it's a positive 14, we add the opposite, so we put a negative 14. The signs are different, so remember if we were using chips, we'd have 0 pairs to take out, so we have to subtract the 0 pairs. 14 minus 9 is 5, and the negative number's absolute value is bigger. There'd be more negative chips, so it's a negative 5. Continuing. Let's rewrite this one. We have 7. Since it's subtraction, we're going to change that subtraction to addition. And since that's a negative 4, we actually add a positive 4. Now you could put another plus sign, or you could just leave it like this. 7 plus 4 is 11. You could also put a plus sign there. It wouldn't make a difference. It's the same thing. And going on to this, we keep the negative 10 just how it is. Anytime you see subtraction, you actually add, and you add the opposite. Opposite of negative 7 is positive 7. And if you want to just mark through yours when you see it, that's fine. Since they're different, one's positive, one's negative, we subtract. And the negative number has a bigger absolute value, so it's going to be negative 3. So that's sort of the first few there. Now here's sort of the more complicated ones. It says write each term as 2 equivalent expressions, both involving subtraction. So, and here's their example, negative 4. You could do negative 7 minus negative 3, and that equals negative 4. So let me show you with negative 2. Let's see. So we want to involve subtraction. So we could do 3 minus, now 3 minus something would be a negative 2. So let's try some things. Let's see, 3 plus negative what would make negative 2? So give you just a second to think. All right, now that you've thought about it, the one way you could get negative 2 would be to add a negative 5, or to subtract 5. 3 plus negative 5 would be negative 2. Another way to do it is you could just lead with the negative 5 and subtract a negative 3. Let's try that. Minus negative 3. And if we add the opposite, negative 5 plus 3 would be negative 2. Let's do another one. So let's just pick a number to start with. Let's start with 8. And we want to make it subtraction. So what could we subtract from 8 to get negative 4? Well, let's try 12. Well, the way to rewrite that would be 8 plus a negative 12, which would equal negative 4. They're different. We subtract, keep sign. So that works. The other way we could do it is to reverse it. And instead of subtracting 8, we'll subtract a negative 8. And then if you add the opposite, negative 12 plus 8 would be negative 4. That's pretty complicated. So try negative 1 here. And let's not do these. So you're going to skip to the back. Sorry, you can kind of see through my paper. And do these 8, because those are pretty good practice. And that will be good. So you're going to try this number 31 with -1, and then these here, and you can skip this bottom section. So just this top one here.